Ooh, okay. Welcome. Hi, Cookie. Heyo. Let's make sure I'm actually streaming. You never know. Okay. There's that. Okay, cool. Cool. Well, how have you been? I'm just in a little weird state of mind, so hopefully it'll be okay soon. I'll get into it maybe. Hopefully not. Let's see. I know I had that post on Discord, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of everything's kind of falling apart lately. Yeah. So, but glad to still be doing this. So, don't have that much to complain about. So, but yeah, it's just been little ups and downs, mostly downs lately. So I'm just kind of taking it slow. Ooh. Yeah. Can't see behind the tart. What kind of thing you got here? Oh, it's a question mark. Yeah, that's gonna get annoying a bit. On the live chat, my little pop out. There's a big heart icon right on the right side of my chat, and it's like I can't see the rest of your message. It's literally being covered up. Oh, jeez. I couldn't tell if that was a question or not. But yeah, things are falling apart at the seams, but yeah, we'll be fine. Hi Judd, and I believe Sasha. Welcome. Yeah. Well, let's just jump on in. Woo. Click. Okay. One more click and I'll be ready. There we go. Okay. Spooky. Hello. How you doing? Welcome. Yeah, good to see you. That there's people. I was almost afraid that no one would show up. So I know last time I think Cookie wasn't in, so it's like it was getting really quiet. I was scared. So thank you for joining. Yeah, it'll be a fun spooky time. But yeah, let's see. Latest news is, let me see, I can play this animation and kind of see what I got so far. So I have something to look at. Welcome. So this week, or at least maybe last Thursday or Friday, at work, at my trophy engraving, full-time work, we got some mysterious emails that have been like, oh, well, maybe you should, from someone we don't know. And they were like, hey, maybe we should, tell us what to do for, this priority business meeting. Maybe you should make a new invoice, and then you should let me know what the method of payment for this priority invoice we have to do. Thank you for your business. And it's like, that's not how the person who it's supposed to be, they've like faked it to be one of the people in the office with their name, and then said it to another person in the office. So it's like, huh. So it was completely bogus, and it's like, geez. The extension was, one of them was like PT, and another one was like CZ, so it's like Portugal or Czech Republic or something. So it's like, maybe they're just using a VPN or something to change their country or whatever. Welcome Mario. Yo. So we got a couple emails from the last couple weeks, or last week or so, and apparently, we didn't heat it too well, and I guess mysteriously, a malware virus did get in and did infect one of the computers. So, in a desperate turn of events, we kind of took everything off. I wish I asked more questions, because the result of it is that we lost all of our server data for all of our art files that we use. We have like 200,000 art files that we've made over like 10 plus years, of digital files of all the digital trophy engravings, and some of them get more complicated where they want like little awards or having pictures in them, designs. Each of them are completely unique, so it's like it's a huge waste that we lost there. But thankfully we got a backup from this year's January, so anything newer than January of this year we lost. So that's a huge loss there. Not just for all of our time. It mostly just our time to like set up all the files individually. So yeah. So a lot of my files as well got lost. So yeah. So it'll just be up to our reproducing it as we need to. We're asking each individual customer like, hey, how did we design it last year? Because we don't actually know. But thankfully most of my stuff that I mostly do on a completely different system. So the ones that got lost were on a server a network, I guess. A network has a tube between our different computers, so we can open the same files on different computers and just like have it open. So it's like, okay, cool. We lost those, but we probably lost about 2,000 to 3,000 art files that way. But yeah, again, I mostly use a different system that's on my local computer, and that was intact. So none of my files in that case got deleted. So there's a good there's a good news there. Yeah. So yeah, this week has been just our yeah. So Monday was just freaking out. I was like, what did we lose? Figuring things out. What can we salvage? What don't we have? And then realizing that our point of sale system also broke, and our paper roll, towel roll in our bathroom broke. So I was like, jeez, what else can go wrong? So, but yeah, some stuff we've been able to miraculously get good amount of backup and get at least my local stuff on my View 7000 stuff. So worked out. So we're slowly getting back to normal. It's also during our busy holiday-ish season, so it's like that's great. So while we're losing our point of sale system of all our invoices, we've lost how to create invoices and send it to each other. So we had to like handwrite everything. It was bad. So yeah, hopefully we figured out enough stuff that we can get everything kind of back online. We had our IT guy work basically the whole week, setting everything back up. But yeah, it's already wild just about how much stuff we have to do anyway. And now it's like, well, let me see whether or not we actually have this old file that we had to reference, because it'd be the same customer who's like, hey, I want some soccer trophies. Again, do it exactly the same as last year, please. And if you don't know what it looks like last year, it's like, oh, okay. So you just hope that you have last year's file and then bring it up and be like, okay, here you go. And it's like, what's the new team kids? Okay, Jonathan, J-O, and then you spell it out and then change all the names and then print it out. So, but if you don't have the file to work with, it's like, did I use to-go font? Did I use Calibri? What size was it? There's a lot that's like all the specifications of it that's like get lost in the mix of that if you don't have the file. So yeah, it was a lot. So that was spooky time. Let's get back into this. I know that was fun, but yeah, that's where I am this week. Has been dealing with all of that. So whoa, let's check that out. Okay, so yeah, I've been playing the snowboard in the background for a bit for you, just so you have something to look at, hopefully. But yeah, I've been working on this in the meantime. Hopefully it looks... Actually, you guys would probably know what's different from last time. What I mean. So I don't remember too much. Because I've just been, you know, continuously been working on this. Whereas you only get to see these little bits and pieces every couple of hours, every week. So I think I remodeled or reshaped the pumpkin a bit here. Look at that. I think it was more squished last time. So I fixed that. The cauldron, I think I had to change a lot of the texture work. So I think I had like some grain on it, but it just wasn't working with because it would actually cast the stick would actually cast a shadow on the cauldron if I didn't set this up right. If I change the shading to be a different style here. Yeah. Looks like that's just a color ramp. And then a noise structure. So maybe I could have done a little bit more, but I think I mostly just stuck to, yeah, emissions seem to be working the best. And he's added a little bit more details to the stage here. Add a little, I think I just drew like a curvy shape and then just use the polygons and just made a bunch of, I traced around it and then extruded it to go onto the side and then shaded it to be this gradient color. So it's not really reflective in any way, but it just has these different point colors that just kind of changes between its normal values. So it's not really reflecting any light per se, as I can turn off some of the lights here, you know, and none of the light should actually be casting on it in a way, because it's actually just being caught by this color ramp gradient that's going on here. So I could change it, and you can see like how that's kind of set up there. And so if I set this up to be like green or something, now it's green color there. So it's just taking these color values, which works pretty well. I didn't have to UV or any kind of unmapping or unwrapping or anything, so it was pretty cool. I think I redid the brick, or at least I just made a bunch of the colors darker, because I realized it was getting, the whole atmosphere was kind of bright. I wanted it to be darker, so instead of changing the light, because I wanted the light to be consistent and be bright like this here, I made everything else darker, which I guess makes better sense. So the brick work. Oh. Let's turn these guys off. I think I just changed these colors to be darker and then added a noise texture. That'd be the amount of noise on top of it is going on. So this is what the noise texture looks like, and then this is what the brick texture looks like. So if I put it in the middle, you'll be able to kind of see kind of a little hint of the noise, but not that much. And then I think I redid this back wall a couple times. So right now it's made out of a whole bunch of different polygons. Each individual square is now its own polygon, and then I just duplicated it over and over. So I think there's about 100. I think I made like one 2x2 block and then said array modifier, where you kind of can duplicate it over and over. So I could just make this for infinity after I make that one or two different blocks there. And I think I made these. Yeah, I just made like two different materials where it's a purple wall and an orange wall. It's supposed to be orange, but it's just really dark orange. And then animated it. So rotate on its y-axis. So you can see it slowly rotating, and it only flips, I think it just flips around 180 degrees. Because otherwise, doing a 360 is a lot. It was going to be going too fast, so I just halved it. Then I worked on some storyboards. You saw that the storyboards were a little bit going. Going pretty well. Been having trouble with the grease pencil. The grease pencil has been my bane, so I kind of been working on everything else around it. That's why last week I was mostly working on the set and trying to set this set up. But yeah, the grease pencil has been not my favorite feature so far. Excuse me, it's just been, you see, like I've been struggling that first time I tried it, and it's like, that's why I did a whole stream of just trying to figure it out, and like by the end I was like more confused. There's just so many little things about it that's like, I don't understand. You know, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't work like a marker, like action 3D space. If I start drawing, like, well, it possibly, you know, might draw like on the surface here, or like there's so many like different values that's like going on here. This is like an environment I have to like work with, whereas like I have to have two different screens going here. I had so much trouble with, like I would go into wireframe mode, and like the keyframes would be like, I'd be able to see like past keyframes like this, and I was like, what's going on? So it just took me forever to figure out, like, oh, let me just click more buttons and then see what happens, basically. Until eventually with the frames, and then that only showed me the current frame. But then it also doesn't show me the onion skin, which I guess should be on in a sense, right? So it's like, that's even more confusing. Why now setting onion skin to frames? I want to see what my next frame is. Filter by nothing, basically. And then say, hey, show me the next frame. But only until I set it to a keyframe does it actually then show the onion skin. Or I guess selective would just be everything. So it makes sense. Like, I want to see these 3 or so keyframes, I can do that, but I don't know, frames is, it's probably not the right word, or it just doesn't make sense if I, this is a frame, right? If I go on the frame, I guess, is it working? I can't tell. Looks like it is, but it's a little easier just to turn these down and then use that as my thing. So yeah, I can't even explain it, because like, what's even going on? Was just seeing other frames there. And then I had a trouble where some of it would be off. I would try to draw it in like in 2D mode, where I would set it to be just this, and then go into flat mode, and then I would try and draw. And it's like, where'd it go? Where's my other drawing? Obviously that's fine there. And then, let's see. There's so many things. See, it's working now, which is more confusing, because why wasn't it working in earlier? So I guess we're okay, I guess. Origin to view. Draw, pencil, black. Maybe because I was on the wrong frame? I can't even tell. Thought I was on the right frame. Let's go into frame. Draw. Alright. It's not me draw something there. So I'm gonna go onto the frame, gonna click on this. Go to my layer. Go to my black. And render. I'm gonna draw now. And where's my line? Where's my line? I'm drawing. I guess that doesn't show up now. Unless... oh, in wireframe mode it didn't show it, but in other views, but it only seems to show up in solid view, which is this one. There's different views I've seen between the different levels of complexity, I guess you can say. So wireframe mode, you don't see it. In solid view, you do. If I start erasing, does it exist? It does exist. Just want to get rid of the box there. Really cool. Okay. I could turn that off and go back to draw mode. If I do some erasing, then it goes through everything. So that means I have to undo a bunch to be able to... Can I select from... There's so many things. Can I do edit mode and then select some of these points? And that works. Yeah. Oh boy. Well, welcome Deadpool. Have a great Halloween. It's awesome. Thank you. You didn't hear my opening speech of how broken my work is now. My trophy engraving is. Oh, you like my hat? Thank you. I worked hard on it last year. I stole it from last year. Yeah, thank you. I guess no one got my Pikachu costume that I wore last week. So I was like, whatever, I'm not going to put more effort into my costume. I'll just kind of steal it from last year and just be generic witch, I guess. So, maybe I'll do something unique next week, but yeah, I'm just not feeling it. Feeling it this week. What should we work on? Guess I can explain did I add anything? There's so many things that I don't think I added anything, but I think I have more ideas. Like I added this cobweb, which will be like a curtain. I haven't really seen that much used before. So I even tried looking up, you know, on Google, like spiderweb curtain, stage curtain, and not exactly. They were like a curtain, and then they would just have like a cobweb design like in a corner, or like it wasn't actually a curtain made out of a spider web. And I was like, that's what I want. And then you kind of like kind of squish it, and then it'll kind of go up a little bit, so it'll kind of be dragged up. So that's what I was thinking. I'll figure out how to do that. Yeah, just stole it for myself. It's just reusing it. Yeah. Let's see. Let's put that back in the original. I want to see. Okay, what would you like to do? Because on the 28th, in 2 weeks, I want to do something else. Do something else special, but it's going to take some setup to make sure that whether or not I have to know whether or not I can do it or not. But so I'm trying to think of what I can show off this week, and next week. So I got this week and next week. So I want to be careful of what I actually show off. Let's see. That heart's really annoying in a way. If I click it, does it go away? No, it just adds hearts. It's still there. Cool. Great. I just gave myself love. Try to imagine if it's a... Why imagine? Couldn't come up with... Exactly. I know. I was going to do that. I was going to use like some curves, and then... Cause that'd be maybe a little easier to like shape tween it. But yeah. Wire mesh. Yeah. I think I drew it. I drew it as if like the center was like out here, up at the top, and then so it'd be like having all these spokes going out from going from the center out. I think there's a word for that. And then a bunch of these little whoop whoops going out. But yeah, I want to see whether or not exactly a curve would help me there. Curve. Okay. Do. Welcome, vlogger. Hello. I'm grabbing my hand. There we go. Doing okay. Thank you for asking. Spiral. Did he spawn? Kind of want. Maybe I should. I always forget that I can just look things up. Web. Spider. I always gotta go for either cartoon or what's the stock art kind of thing? Yeah, is that they're kind of like their spokes out from the center, but I think they don't. This doesn't wrap around to the other segment of these circly things. So I'm just imagining it being like we cut this in half. Like what do you see if you cut this? Can't really cut it. If you cut this in half, then you would just see spoke, and then these kind of things. Like they don't spiral out. They just got these shapes that kind of are separate. I think, yeah. Yeah. They're like distinct circly things. I think I got it. I probably just need to maybe have less of them. Because I see that there's probably like only, if I do like half of this from the bottom down, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 sticks, and then a couple curves there. So I could probably redraw this a little, or when I make it, I could probably make it a little bit less a lot. But I also wanted to make it look like a curtain, so I don't know. I also want to see whether or not my curve here will actually be visible. 3D. Just preview. There's base geometry. I want to extrude it. Very, very small. I don't know what this is. Ooh, that does that. Let's see. Oh, that's my shadow there. Cool. Okay. And let's give it a black 85%. And then we'll give it an alpha clip. And let's see. We're going to need it to be alpha hash, so it'll actually show up. Let's see. I have. Let me see my stick. So what's my stick doing? So my stick actually has some sort of alpha clip. So the alpha clip, that's being 100% and alpha hashed. Alpha clip, alpha hash, and 0. So in theory, it should not be visible, unless it's some weird editing going on here. Probably draw backlinks and connecting curves. Size the closer you get to the main point. Okay. Yeah, these little curves are like bat wings, exactly. Connecting curves are to give it a check for shape. Get to the main point. The main point would be this center point. Yeah. What do I do? Or maybe it's just like selecting it. I shouldn't be selecting it now. Maybe it just has to be behind the camera. And then turn off my stick. So this would be what it would look like. So I can start kind of now doing something like this, and then start to build it out. Pretend the circle is up there, and then don't want it to be too low. Probably have that. Oh, I wasn't even looking at it to make that match. So definitely want a whole bunch of duplicates. I'll just make the sticks for now, and then go from there. Let's see. Got more coats a couple times. Oh, thank you. I feel like I've probably made a couple cobwebs in my videos. Definitely not in the spooky zone too often to having to need to a whole bunch, you know. Just be a little bit. Let's see. Turn that off. Should I draw more sticks? You could have. I feel like you won't be able to see them though. Something like that. Center it. We'll go from there. Okay, so this will be our first curve. So we'll do probably goes from point to point, I guess. Good. I could do something like that. Oh, gotta grab their right point. And then something like that. So yeah, I probably need another stick. Grab that to that, and then on a roll. Thank you. It'll just be up to now. Can I just like that? Not really. Ugh. grab, duplicate, rotate Z 180. Okay, it's important to learn math, kids, so I can 3D model a spider web. Okay. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Okay, so I selected some parts. So I want this, not that. Wow. But not that. But also not that. Yeah. Okay. Select the right bits. Duplicate. And then beep. And then just make it shoosh it in just a little bit. And there you go. And then there you go. This should be easier because now I don't have the stick corners to deal with. Just bring this up. Yeah, I can always probably add more if I need to. It's not like this is the end of it, or like, you know, I can't add more as I go. Everything's valuable. Okay. Really is just a delicate process. So add all of these points in. It's not bad. I don't know if it's reads that spider web too much. Maybe if you see like the bottom, maybe. You know, if I bring this up, it's like, whoa, look, maybe it's not a spider web. Maybe it just needs to be. There you go. Does it resemble a spiderweb in a form? Like on the left side? So obviously this feels more like you can see more of the whole geometry, but I think just by segmenting that out, looks a little bit less. It's like one of those, hey, can you guess what it is when you can't see all of it kind of puzzle. Let's see. That's this blah blah blah. Okay, cool. Always reduce in size or rotate it slightly. I think I just did that. Thank you. Yeah, if I kind of take this whole thing. Probably need another bit out there. Yeah, I'm just looking on the left to see what I want. Let's grab this. I can kind of play with this a little bit too. And of course that means I have to rearrange some of these again. Probably going a little bit lower feels better. It kind of creates a little bit more shape to it. Because otherwise I get kind of flat. So I can just have them be a little bit lower. Yeah, that looks marginally better. But yeah, that's it. Grab one of these guys. Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's go back to one of these guys. Yeah, it feels better. Yeah, okay. And I could always adjust it to my liking as well. And the fun part is that this mesh is actually behind the camera. Like the camera is looking to the right, is where his view is. This mesh is actually behind it. And the way that this works is that it has the that's light's back here into the sunlight, so it actually only sends light signal in to the right way. So it's hitting directly onto the let me turn off my storyboard here. So it's sending the light directly to the screen here. And so the only thing that's really being visible here is actually the mesh shadow. So if I grab the spider mesh, I can do that. So it's not a duplicate, it's actually the real-time lighting shadow. So that's why I wanted to do this in 3D, because I knew that this is kind of the only way to have real-time lighting shadow. Because you can't really do this in especially not Adobe Animator or Flash or anything. I haven't really figured out how to do it, any kind of 3D lighting in Toon Boom. Toon Boom has some cross stuff with Maya or 3ds Max or one of those. I don't even know. But I haven't been able to have control over the lighting setup or any kind of things inside of Toon Boom. And obviously I could do all of this now if I want to do some control, zoom ins it out the camera and get this whole foreground and background going on. So that's pretty nifty. And the fun part is I set up a focal length and distance, depth of field. Let's see. Oh, hello. Welcome. Hi, Ghost Pumpkin Skull. I set up a depth of field. So I think if I set this to be around -100 meters or so, it gets really blurry. So but everything else is in focus, but if I render this out and then crash my computer as I render it, you can see Derpy is rendered. It's a little bit more sharp, but the spiderweb now has much more blur to it. But everything else is still, you can definitely see like the edge of that star being crisp. So, and that's from the depth of field from the, it's looking only, its depth of field is set up to really only be like looking at the back screen here, this whole screen here. And so things are a little bit further in distance from that will actually become blurry. It's like it's focusing its aperture like a camera to really be dialed in onto only this amount of distance between the camera. So if it's further, that's just how cameras work, is that it'll start to get blurry. So if I do it as -200, it should get twice as blurry. Render this out. Yeah, you can barely make it out now. So, and still Derpy's okay, and all these other edges are still okay, and the pumpkin's still there. But that's how that works. So I wanted to use this to my advantage as well in the animation. That I want to have things kind of, if you ever watch a Shadow Puppet show, they would, you know, maybe have something kind of go in from the distance and then become, you know, or whenever you pick something up and they wouldn't be flat on the screen at first, maybe, so they might kind of dissolve in, basically. like a nice little fade in, so I can kind of animate it becoming more and more visible. So I'm gonna put that back, and I don't know if I put it in between the camera or not. Nope. But yeah, now I can see the exact crispiness of that image now. So yeah, and that was perfect. Okay, cool. Okay. So what I can do is for the animation, I wanted it to, you can see how not, how I designed this a little better to look a little better now, is that I wanted to kind of raise up out of the way. So I think what I'll do is another thing. There it is. I could probably squish it like a Z as it goes up and try to morph it, or maybe I haven't tried this yet. I would have put in a lattice. Might be fun. Lattice. I haven't really tried this. Maybe I shouldn't. Does that work? I probably need a box or something. Let's add. I don't think it needs to be an empty plane. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't. I was gonna do something complicated. Let's instead do something else complicated, and I'm gonna add an empty instead. Give me empty cube, and I almost did some Corel Draw. At my work, I use Corel Draw. I was gonna use my keyboard shortcuts for that to like line these up, but it's not gonna work here. Ooh, look how thick that web is. Whoa. Yeah, you can't tell it from the shadow or 2D. Yeah, look at that. That's all. That's a 3D mess. Okay. So I want this cube to be the parent to the web. So I will say, web, please be a child of this object. So now if I move cube, it should both now move. And whatever I do to cube, do the same thing. It's so I don't have to do too many transformations on the web itself. I'm just scared to do anything too drastic to it. So I feel like, I don't know, it's just a little bit, it makes more sense to me to add little boxes and then say this is what's going to be animated rather than trying to animate the mesh itself. Because I feel like I would have to play with the, so now I got it, the rotation point in the right place. I haven't done this much in the Derpy movie, but I've done it a couple times actually, where I parented it to be an empty object. So, not bad. Doop 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 boop. Web. I call nulls as if they're like nothing. And I got my, there's a curve, there's my web. That's my main object. And so now I can just animate the web null and not even touch the mesh at all as anything. So, yeah. Might not be able to. It's amazing. Thank you. So, I can go back in here, look at my storyboard timing. And then see where my keyframes are for my storyboard are. Might be able to go to solid view and turn this on. So now I can see my storyboard, but not my shadows now. I'll go to frame 20, click on my box now, and I'll say, I just animate everything. Probably don't need to. I probably won't animate everything. Now I got that. Click back on storyboard. See where my next keyframe is. So that's actually where it starts to move up. And then it gets out of the way around 30. So click on box actually. I already forgot. I'll go a little bit further and then do my transformations up here. So I will need to scale it down in the Z, a little bit in the X, and then raise it in the Z position. I probably want to squish it in a little bit more. And probably bring it down. Can't even see it. Where is it? There it is. And then out of frame there. And then let's go to animation because I have this all set up here. Okay. This is where, excuse me, this is where it gets complicated, if it hasn't already. So what should happen is that it should kind of go whoop. I can probably add some what's it called, anticipation, maybe some backward motion. I can probably remove some of my would I see my... There you are. So I can see everything I got here. So X location, don't need to have that happen. It's not moving in the X. Y position, it's not doing that. So I'm just slowly gonna delete some stuff that don't change. Z location does. Not doing any rotations. So I'll just get rid of those. And then the X. Does it do any X? Does everything except Y. So I just kind of just filtered it out, so now I can see that all of this going on. And so I know the Z, I probably want it to go down a little bit first. So I'll add a keyframe in the Z. It's a little tricky to see because of all the other extra can't really tell if I'm clicking on a keyframe or something else. Kind of gotta go in here and see whether or not I'm doing anything. You kind of see how it kind of goes down, up. And probably rotate that down to be a bit more linear, because it's not gonna really slow down too much. If anything, I wanted to speed up. And I could probably drag all of these. It's only one frame, isn't it? Oh, jeez. In the X scale, I lock everything else and then say, show me the X scale. Is it? No. Okay. Can't remember how to do this. So there's a key here and a. Can I even see? Oh, here we go. Okay. I just wanna. I really like Blender's filtration, where I can just kind of take things out that I don't want to see. And think that's really good. I'm gonna do a free vector just so I can kind of rotate this a little bit. I want it to be kind of linear. Show me a Z scale. Yeah, same kind of thing. Free. Select it. So that'll make it go fast and then go slow. It almost gets too high too quickly. So I'm gonna go back to my Z location and hopefully see it. There it is. So what I can do is probably reduce this height of it, because it only needs to get past the screen here, which at this Y position it gets way too high. So I'm gonna like lower it. And then maybe I'll have to rotate this, make it a little bit more linear. And then kind of make sure that it's linear by having them kind of be on the same, so they're kind of like lined up on the same line tangent. Maybe slow down a little bit at the end. It gets to the top there, which still is way too high. What it is, I could probably just bring it down to here and then just kind of slow it down. I have to like separate these tangents here so I can actually see. And then I'm watching it on the very small left screen in my preview to see where it goes. So I'm seeing about how far it needs to go and then kind of adjusting this. Make that slower, and then I can increase my. Unless you can just remove that and then make that. Elongate that and then make that. Yeah. Something like that. I don't know. You can play with this, you know, obviously forever to try and get what you want. But on the whole, now what do we got? This, and then play it. So you get something like that. So it kind of stretches out a little bit. What we could do is also maybe go back in and add a Y position. So I think I want it to kind of be a little bit more, blurry. So I could probably bring it back to like -50 to be, whoa. -30. So talent. Thank you. I like animation where I can see what I'm doing. It's weird to say that, but it's like I like graph editors. In 2D, in Toon Boom you can get to a graph editor like this. But it's kind of like it's in its own box, you know. It's like a little pop-up box, and it's like you gotta really click on it and you really gotta know what you're doing inside of there. It's not really as super editable. It's not like I can animate exactly like this in here, but I do. My favorite type of animation, I guess, is kind of like this kind of 3D animation where I can see, kind of like separate them all out into different values and then get some graph going on. That's kind of like how I visualize it anyway, is to like separate it into these kind of different values and then go from here. So I'm going to go to my Y value, and then as it goes up, I want to add probably like halfway. Actually, I probably just want to zoop it way far away, so I'll bring it to that -200 or so meters. And so let's do that as let's just do it as a linear. Problem is that it's gonna be a little tricky to really visualize that. Yeah, oh, look at that. Might be a bit too much there. It's almost kind of motion blurry. But maybe 200 might be too much. Let's just bring it down to like 100. That's 1,000. Whoopsie. I don't know, like animating with math. Maybe it should be busy. Let's go back to this. So it kind of like has this kind of slow start, zoop, 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 and then kind of slows out. Let's separate that out. But yeah, Flash, definitely. But I haven't seen it. It's definitely not like, ooh, maybe you should use the graph editor instead of Flash. It's like that'd be new to me if I saw that. I'm looking here to see how blurry it is. Let's take a while. Where even am I? I could move these over X and then make this slower. And then go frame by frame. Maybe 75 might be better. Like 100 is probably a bit too much there, you know? So that's not bad. Of course, that would just be up to like actually rendering it and seeing what happens. Really see the actual effect, so I would have to do a whole, you know, go down, and I haven't even made a place to actually render it out yet. But yeah, I'll have to render it out. I think I have it as, it's actually 1080 by 1920 instead of the other way. Usually it'd be 1920 by 1080, so I actually flipped it so it'll work with my what if I do a YouTube short. Ooh, look, it's blurry. I have it so it'll be a YouTube short, so we got a phone. Phones, if you usually watch it on a vertical screen, it'll be like this, so I have to make sure that the video itself is actually vertical. So I designed this whole animation to be somewhat workable on a phone, but at least I'm animating it with a vertical screen in mind. So I'm not trying to, like, after the fact be like, oh wait, you know, it's too wide, you know, gotta clip this out or zoom in on this part. It's like, no, I'm gonna animate it with it being a phone vertical short from the get-go. So I've been doing that for my YouTube shorts. I've all been actually exported in this vertical aspect ratio and then animated it, because I've set it up the aspect ratio first. I'm able to actually animate it to that aspect ratio. So I'm learning how to do different compositions this way. So it's been fun trying to figure that out. It's definitely different. Definitely have to, you know, all your typical like storyboards and how they set up the, you know, all the rule of thirds and all that kind of stuff doesn't really work anymore. As now it's kind of like rule of 1/3s, and it's like so. But yeah, welcome back, Judd. And let's see here, what should we do next? Well, I guess probably should put my, where do I put my web? It's in my R&D objects. We make a new folder for that. And I'll just do, yep, shadow puppet assets. Like this. I don't know. My storyboards are green. What should I do? No, that's red. What should I do? Orange? Let's put my web null in here. Okay. Just like to be relatively organized as I go. That's actually way out here. It's gonna be a little weird as all my puppets are gonna be way in the distance. While the trick is that hopefully it'll be like a shadow puppet show where everything should exist. It's like you hope that the trick is that you think all the puppets are behind the screen, but the way that I have to set this up, I was gonna do it where they were gonna be behind the screen, and then I tried to set up all that in the first couple streams where I did this, where I started, but I couldn't quite get it to work. So weirdly, doing this method is kind of the only way I know how at this point to set this up. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's get my storyboard back, and I can just do this to disable that. Still sort of on. Okay. Why can I still see the shadow? So I can just turn them off like that. There you go. Is this yeah, that's my, can't tell between my storyboard or not. That's as far as we got. We got like 2 seconds in. All right. This will be roughly, it has to be less than 59 seconds to be on a YouTube short. So, I'm getting close. 1200 is around 50 or so. Let's see what it is. It's 1200 divided by 6. No, is it 1200 divided by 24? 50. There we go. So 1200 frames divided by 24 frames a second is then 50 seconds. So that's about as long as my animation that I have now, the way that I timed it out. Some shots will be faster, some will be slower, so it probably still will average around that, but I would like it to be probably a little faster than that. Or have the whole short be a little bit shorter than that. I don't want it to actually be a whole minute long. That's a lot. It'll still be fun, but yeah, it's just gonna be the less frames means, you know, less frames to worry about, meaning less time to work on it. So it'll be a little faster and easier if there's less stuff going on, less frames to work on. So should we? Some of us are here. Let's do the crowd ponies. Let's just get that out of the way so I can work on that. Maybe these guys. I don't know how many I'll have, but yeah, I will ask. Who would you like the background ponies to be? They'll all be silhouetted, but I'll try my best to like make them, you know, look like, you know, add the hair, maybe cutie marks or whatever. And then what costumes would you like them to wear? So I will ask. What of these would you like the background? What should their costume be? So that makes sense. Okay. I feel like that's a little bit easier than trying to ask you guys every 3 minutes. But yeah, I'm open to whatever. This is the interactive part. I'll leave the floor open for you guys. What happens in the story is that Derpy comes across a pumpkin and then she rolls down a hill, and then that makes the pumpkin go on her head. And then she's like, whoa, I gotta tell someone about it. And then these are ponies that are like trick-or-treating, and they'll have bags or something. I have like an idea where the... Oh, here we go. Welcome, Lightning. Welcome. Let's see. For the trick-or-treating, I have an idea where I want it to be like a 4D experience. Where they'll have bags of candy, and then they will be like, whoa, scary horse. And then during this part, they'll throw the candy up into the air, and then as a shadow. And then I was gonna have real, you know, 3D candy fall on the ground. Like as if it became real or something. Had a little extra coolness. Stuff I've seen like I've watched puppet shows as a kid, so many of them all the time. Always was very fascinated by puppet shows. So I've always liked this, you know, technique where they, you know, would always, you know, do something weird or something really, really clever. Like I think I watched like a Lewis and Clark or something when I was like in grade school, and it was really, really cool. Lots of unique sets, and I just remember a lot of different things like this happening where it's like, whoa, and then we drew that out or something. So I want to do something really cool. We're just watching a show, but then like, whoa, wait, what, they fell down? Like what? Little surprises like that or something. So yeah, I'll add as many as I can. The only thing is that I'm probably gonna be able to really incorporate like maybe at most maybe 4, I guess. Because again, I was talking about the aspect ratio. It's not very wide. So if I make the ponies smaller, I might be able to fit 3 in this shot. Like one of them is already cut off, you know, off the stage. So, and then she comes back later. These could be different ones, because I don't know. And then, you know, at most maybe 6, maybe. So, but if I don't get too many, then I'll have to reuse some of them, but that's fine. I'll try to include as many as I can. Let's see. Are you surprised if we get back running? Ooh, okay. Like surprise as... I'm thinking of Pinkie Pie. That's not right. Let me know. Sir told it. G1. Oh, that's why I got a G1 character. As your PF. Okay. I see. Okay, so we got white with kind of dark lemon mane. Okay, I see. Yeah. Maybe she could wear something. Maybe she can wear like a Pinkie Pie costume or something. Let's see. Guess I could say hi. Well, I got everyone out of the woodwork. Thanks, guys. A bloom dressed as a pumpkin. We would have 2 pumpkins on the screen then, but that is what I'm looking for. In terms of a character in a costume. Is it okay if I change it into maybe an apple, like one of those big mascot ones where be like a full, the apple would just be the full body and then like her head just kind of sticks out kind of thing. That's what I'm thinking. Where should see look evil? Okay. Maybe Ribbon-Ash has like a little cape or something and a motorcycle helmet. Okay. Let's see. Surprise dress up as Philly second. I just don't want, yeah, exactly. Because the whole thing is that then Derpy is one of the pumpkins, so I don't want to be like, oh, look, another pumpkin, or like, to make it unique with the story to work with that. So, yeah, that's why I'm a little bit hesitant, and I think Bloom as a pumpkin, as an apple would be actually kind of cute. But yeah, let's see. Do. Sounds cool. I had to like look around your heart. Feel a second. That's the Pinkie Pie superhero? Yes. Whoa, okay. Oh yeah, she got, because I think about in silhouettes. So I gotta think that they would have interesting iconography, basically. Like, we don't have color, you know, what designs can I use to still convey that it's what character it is. It's gonna be tricky. All this is gonna be really, really hard. Let's see. How long have I been animating? I've been doing art since, you know, preschool, you know, finger painting and making little artworks and stuff. But animating might have been some flip note here and there, but not really that much. But definitely like pony animating was like my first really, you know, getting my feet wet was pony animation with double rainbow character puppets. And I started around 2013. So I had my 10-year anniversary this April or March, one of those. Yeah. So I've been doing a bunch of different styles and all sorts. So started with Flash and then moved to Toon Boom. Now doing some weird offshoots and one-offs, I guess, with Blender now. So I get around. I get a bunch of different softwares and stuff and try to make something out of it. So what do we got so far? Surprise, Apple Bloom. That's kind of it. Okay. 10 more years. 10 more years. Let's see. Otherwise, yeah, 2 would work. Yeah. So if you have an idea, you know, let me know. This will change what I have to do to complete this animation. So if you want to be part of that, let me know and drop a comment. I won't be closing it, you know, I guess until the animation is ready. So yeah, sooner the better, so I can actually work on it. So that's what I'm asking now. But yeah, let's work on, how much time do we got? Oh, we got another hour. Okay, cool. Let's do this. Let's work on the next diggy. Do you want to work on Owl or Derpy? I can work on this twig here. Did I make a second version? I got this other version where I try to recreate or try to redraw this tree here. So kinda make a new. Can we make a? Can I just get a point? Let's see. Single vert. Add single vert. Adds it into a new thing. So perfect. Okay. So I'll put it where I want the axis to be, and then I'll go. I am in edit mode. So I literally have a single vert, and I will extrude it, and then see where that went. What? We'll just get out of here. Where is it? Here it is. Maybe it's supposed to literally just be a single vert. I thought I would be able to actually model with it. Nope, okay. I was like, I don't want to use a cube again. Let me just get a single vert. That should work. Alrighty then. Be that way. I will instead make a plane, make it pretty small, and go in here. I'll just rotate it here. Okay. So give me this and give me this and go inside. What can I see? Multiples. Owl. Whoopsie. Dang it. Starboard. There you go. Back screen. Sort of on. Here we go. There we go. So if you press 1, you'll be able to change between vertex select, 2 is edge select, 3 is face select. But if you do it in object mode, then you select the different views, I guess. So if you press 1, then you saw that it removed everything that I could see, except for certain collections, I guess. So you gotta make sure I'm in edit mode, which is only denoted really by being able to see the wireframe and or this edit mode versus object mode. It's tabbing in and out of it, so that's what happened there. So I was just kind of let's see. Okay. Yeah, we're doing music is restarted. There we go. I don't really want this to be a face, so I think I want to just delete face. Nope. Okay. Wanted to not have that happen. Okay. I can extrude this and kind of see WS, and then I get an extra point. 2 WS. Let me get another point. And then 2 WS. Different points here. 2 WS. And then I get this point here. 2 WS. Okay. Over here now, you can kind of see me building this up now. I'm going to do it this way. Because it's already a filled mesh, so I can't really just extrude it the way that I want to. That's why I wanted just a single vert, so I can kind of rotate this. Does that work? No. Oh, it did. Yay. Okay. Almost not enough. There's always a way. Delete work. And of course. Okay. Merge at last. Okay. Hopefully you can kind of see what I'm getting at here. I get the broad strokes here. I can then go back in and now kind of reshape this. A little better. Like I want this to be, you know, curving up. I can add an extra point here and be like that. Let's add another here. I definitely would do this a different way if I had some better tools. Okay. How is that looking? Turn off my board. Okay. Let's shade it with my black. Let's do 100%. So I already set up these materials. I have like a couple different versions. So you saw that I had black. I just set up some random ones for my Derpy stick. And so probably could add a couple more, but these actually set up, I made these where they set up different lightness. So from black 100% to black 50%, it'll change the transparency or the tint of it, I guess. If I gotta go back out, I'm gonna see where we are. Oh, let's sign it maybe. Oh, there we go. Wrong view. So there we go. So I changed this back to 85%. You see the amount of black is actually a little bit less. So you can see the tint or transparency through it. And if I go back to black 50%, you can watch it and it becomes much more lighter. So I grab and make, you know, a whole bunch of them as I go along, but these are ones I just wanted to make initially. So I can just do that. Okay. I'll just kind of make it a little bit like that. And so now I got tree log, tree stick, tree like thing. And it doesn't animate yet, but there we go. So we're rendering this out. What do we get? We probably get the derpy stick. Probably, yeah. Ah! Just looked like it was choking her or something. Let us. That. That actually will remove it. And it's still there. Interesting, because it should be this. Oh, this is render. This is viewport. This is just me computer looking at it, and this is what I should be rendering. So if I move that one, it keeps moving over. There we go. That's what we got. So I could do other factors to this stick here. Maybe I can do a shade smooth or something. I don't think that's really gonna do too much. Yeah. What'll really mess it up will be a subdivision surface. Burp. Yeah. See that it's trying to round it out. But I do like it being, the whole aesthetic I'm going for is that it's kind of being like made out of paper. Shut up, Libbits. Hence that. So, having it kind of be kind of angular kind of works to the advantage of it. So my general aesthetic is that I want everything that's quote real to be super high poly and like super round, like you can't see the polygons or the geometric shapes that make it up. So I added a super high subdivision on it. Because otherwise, this is what I modeled. I modeled this. So by adding the subdivision, I was able to super round it out. And so you get this rounded shape here. Same with the cauldron. If I turn off its subdivision, I modeled this. So I didn't want to see like these hard edges. I want it to be round. So this is not a round shape. So I added this modifier and it rounds it out for me. But with the tree here, I'm like, do I want to add anything? Do I want to like round it out or make it seem a little bit less pointy? And it's like, no. That's what it's gonna be. A little bit more. Those are kind of my favorites. Maybe we can add a little bit more depth here. Get this shape and then get this shape. Yeah. There you go. Oh yeah. There, that's a scary shape there. Let's see. Real close to the subdivision? Yeah. It saves me a lot. Ironically, I could have used it a lot more in the movie. I think I'll probably plan to do a little bit more of that in the future. For the current chapter that I'm working on, I am kind of experimenting with adding a little bit more roundness to it. I was apprehensive because I wanted to I didn't really learn about it to begin with, and I wanted to kind of conserve it being looking like a video game. So I wanted to feel like a GameCube game, so like it felt like the movie kind of stepped out of a, you know, like it was made in like the early 2000s or something with its type of graphics. So there are a lot of little things here and there that are modeled in the movie in some of the early chapters that are like, well, why isn't that smoother? And it's like, well, I was learning, especially on the train in the city, there's a lot of like Well, shouldn't that be, a little bit more round? So, yeah, I mean, I'm working on it now. Working to fix that kind of stuff. So, there you go. Let's add one little thingy here. Always offshoot another little tiny bit here. Let's make it more tree looking. Actually, 4 will not work. I would like 3. Tree for tree, please. So it's always good to mix these little fractals. Tree. Let's add tree points for this tree. There you go. Exaggerate this one a little bit. Yeah. And of course, I can do this all day if I really wanted to, or I can say that's far enough. Okay, that's cool, right? Let's see. And let's do the trick where I did with this one with the web. Now questioning why my web doesn't have, it's here. Do I have 2 of them now? Where's my, it would seem, web's up here, maybe down here. Okay, weird. Does that still work? Okay, weird. Some things I can't understand. Okay. But yeah, let's do the same thing. Where'd it go? Where's my tree? Is it you? There you go. Okay. Let's put in the shadow puppet assets and call it the tree branch. And let's add another null. One of these guys. And let's parent this to this, where I can select this correctly. And so now I can move. It's hard to select nulls when you're nothing really there going on. Let's move the set origin to 3D cursor. Still in the center. Interesting. Can't really go into object mode with that, so I might have to move all of this over. Kind of works. What I also want to do is move it back, and I can add a stick. This is already a stick, but I gotta add another stick. So let me add a. Actually, yeah, I guess I was gonna add a cube, and let's make it super tiny. I shouldn't move it. I should move it in this mode. Let's do scale x 0.5, scale y 0.5, just to make it half as big now. Scale x 0.5, scale y 0.5. This will wear. Let's make a realisticness to this whole. This will be. I want it to actually feel like you're just watching a real show, so I want it to be a real stick. So what I want to do is that long. But what I want is to grab this cursor to selected. I think I'll get rid of my null. Now the question is, if I remove null, does branch go away? Yeah, well, branch is still there. Let's move you back. I think I'm gonna remake this. I think it made sense for the. It didn't make sense for the web. Probably doesn't make sense to anything really. But I will change the origin now to this 3D cursor. And we'll make this be the parent. Okay. So now I got tree branch, and now I got tree branch stick. And so now if I move stick, that works like that. I can also rotate it. I have this shot later, because we're still building one asset at a time, where the owl, and I guess some of the ponies later will also kind of rotate, so I want to have it be realistic with this, so I'll have, obviously having it be in a flat mesh like this works. But yeah, that's like a little tree asset, so I can be like, oh look, hello, I'm Mr. Branch. I think what I want to do is also, I want to have a null, or just have some sort of animation that's like some sort of independent ambient motion. Because I don't want it to be animated like burp, burp. I want it to like always be like slightly moving, as if you're like holding it up. So it's like if you're trying to raise it up, it's like you don't really be like, and here it is. It's gonna be a little bit like, here it is. You gotta slightly move it. So I want to add that little bit of slight motion. So I think I want to add null, empty. Make it something different, maybe some sort of axis here, and this will be ambient animation, and I'm gonna just do this for a couple seconds where I will grab it and then just slowly move it like that. Gonna move it up, and then I need to keyframe my motions, so I will do that, and then I'll do this for like a couple seconds, so I'll let that go. Not sure if it's quite working, and I'll see whether that worked. I don't know. Let's see. Go to my animation. Would appear not. Let's see. I need to work on. active keyframe layer version. Let's do some replacing. I think I did this at some point. I think I did it like on the first stream. If this doesn't work, obviously I'll have to figure this out. Why not? I had some live animations. Let's see, in object mode. Maybe it doesn't work for roles. Let's see if this works. Can't even select these now. Uh-oh. I want the stick. Let's see. Nope. Use our keyframe this way. Huh. Still in object mode. I should be able to select these now. Maybe because it's not the top? Oh, it's not locked. On the branch. Can I animate it? Oh, why is this red? What, green? I out of frame. Let's go to frame 2. Let's see what's even happening. I'll go to frame 2 on this. It's almost like it shouldn't be locked. I'm in. Yeah, keen. Playback. Well, alright. Huh. See, it's taking that. But if I want to actually add a new... Interesting. If I want to add a new keyframe, it's not letting me. I'm honestly not sure why not. What if I... I wonder how much I broke this. You can't insert animation on anything now. I should be able to insert a new keyframe. Unless I'm in some other weirdness. I'm in some other weirdness, aren't I? Here's a keyframe there. Let's add a new keyframe. Oh, wow. Infinite. Frame 5, insert, selected. Yee. Okay. Huh. Well, alright. Let's do something else. At least I can recolor this. Oh, see you. Thank you, Cookie. Thanks for the suggestion. I will work on that, and then hopefully by next week I will hopefully have that set up. So, or we'll see. I don't know. Might be too tired from work. But yeah, I'll be working on this hopefully throughout the next week, and then hopefully get this done by hopefully before Halloween. That'd be great. See you next week. Thanks, Cookie. I almost want to just restart this. That's but I was going to change all of the texture to change it to black. Question is if I put this to be higher or less. Yeah, so unless it's, I wonder if this, set this to be less. I'm almost thinking now, like I just don't want to put like a piece of tape on here. Then the stick will be visible. Yeah, so unless both of them are black, then 100%, then you don't see that overlap. There's a lot going on, a lot for me to discover. But I think for right now, I think I just want to restart because I think without able to keyframe anything, I'm not sure what's going on. So I will save and I will go to not really technical difficulties, but at least I just want to restart Blender real quick here. I'll close and reopen it and see if that does marginally anything, probably not, but never know. We'll have to resize this a little bit. And then we're about ready to close up anyway, but hopefully we'll see what this does. Okay. That works. Yeah, that's still broken. Let's go to, unless there is something that's just like visible, that's like I'm not seeing or something. But what would I be missing? So this says that. So what should be happening if you don't know? Oh, I'm covering it the whole time. You can't even see it. There you go. So what should be happening is when I click on, still can't see it. There's little diamonds down here. You should be able to click on a diamond and it should create a keyframe, basically. But it seems that it's not quite doing that. Also, there's something going on here. There's also a bunch of keyframes going on here. Maybe I did. That's a keyframe. Let's go later. Heh. That's over there. I'm undoing to hopefully get back to this position. Now my keyframes are gone. From that 5-1? Well, that's what I was after. Huh. Okay. I will have to learn a lot of different things over the over this week. Let's see. What would you like to see? Yeah, I can get the... Nope, I can't get the animation going, so I can't do that. I can maybe do some modeling, I guess? Is that what I can do? I did bring in... Oh, yeah, everything's falling apart, aren't you? Okay. Back on track is maybe I can get plane, and what I can do is give it a new material. Give it a color. I don't know why I'm doing everything with a mouse. Some things are just easier with a tablet. And I loaded in. I did not. Where'd it go? I have this one. I thought I did. Oh, that's that. Probably should relabel a couple of these. Okay. Hang on as I import something I already imported earlier today. Jeez. All right. We back. All right. So. Got this, and I will hopefully turn off some of the subsurface scattering here. Turn blend mode to alpha clip. Alpha patched. Alpha blend. Oh, right. Alpha needs to be in the alpha hole. There we go. So I imported just a regular old derp picture, and what I can do is like with the branch, I can do the same thing and model it by maybe making her a little taller, maybe. And I can model her in different sections, so I will be able to animate it by able to rotate her head. Each leg will be a different piece. Maybe her tail, I don't know. But I'll have it be little segments. I'll have the eyes be a different piece as well. So I'll be able to like move her eyes around, and everything will be connected by sticks, like the branches on a stick. Because I can move that up and down. Woo, woo. So this is my D plane. And so yeah, I will have, how does it all have to let's try to do this. What I could do is probably have a plane, or I can hide it. Let's see. I get a plane, go in, and I probably just delete every other point here, every other vertex. Probably just put this in one spot and then extrude from here. Whoa, cool. Okay. Probably just do it this way. Yeah. It's almost like vectoring, but not as fun. And I can merge that center. And then play with all these bips here all day long. The cat, I'm basically just tracing around all these parts. Can I just duplicate this piece here? Cool. Okay. And I can still do that. So I'll probably just go around and trace every piece here. Thinking about how I want to separate some of these pieces, and I'm not really sure at this point. As I'm working on it, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I guess I can merge these pieces, maybe? Let me get these pieces, this whole, flip this up, and show what this looks like. Let's have alpha clip and then clip it. Oh, shadow needs to be none. Huh. Okay. So I can't have best of both worlds here. Oh well. Well. So I was gonna show you what the. Oh yeah, there's no fill on it, so that's not gonna work anyway. Point. Uh-oh. Well, Blender is free if you want to try this out. Maybe you'll be better at basic usage than I am. I'd be very impressed. Should be able to actually fill this maybe. What happened? Like D-plane. Turn this off. Yeah, there we go. And then I can fill it with 85%. So now you have the mesh up here, and then I got the hair going. So you can see that that's not bad already. Shouldn't go D-plane again. Oh yeah, now she's rocking. Okay. Let's go here. And I want this to be relatively smooth, so I will have a whole bunch of little points here. I'm sure when I want to mess with this later, it's going to be much more tricky. If you're trying to do this, I guess my rule of thumb or my my technique or anything that you want to learn is to get a line, and then as soon as it kind of gets as soon as you like make a line that shoots out from where you want it to be, and as soon as you want to have it be kind of rotated, kind of like stop and then make a new point, and it's like, well, maybe I need one more point here. As soon as you need to like do any sort of like curvature, that's when you want to stop and make a new point. So what I can do now is duplicate my mesh point here. Yeah, with this, as soon as I'm like, I would go straight from this point and I would just go straight out, and if I have to make, if I kind of follow along this path, and as soon as it like gets a little bit too much, I would kind of I would let go and then make a new point. I could probably also do this kind of low-ish poly. I don't want to like make this too smooth, but as soon as I want to add just enough to be like, that's pretty good. And then try to recenter them. And it becomes like possible to be like, well, I want this curvature here. I will go in and subdivide it and then push it out. And if there's too big of a space here, I'll add another point there. And then recenter them. Or average them out, I guess. And then let's do other eye. I'm also kind of like hitting where the points of like the eyelashes would be, and then adding them point so that they will be easier to then kind of go immediately from this point out and then making an eyelash. Like, well, maybe I want this to be more smooth here. So just add another point. I'm very into like being economical with my points. That's why I don't like it when I see very high density what is it? Yeah, just high density amount of points in a vector. And it's like, well, you didn't really need to do that. Let's see. Oh, I see a Judd. That is wrong motion. See ya. Yeah, next week we will continue with this, and then let's see. in 2 weeks, I'll do my surprise. So, yeah, look out for that. Thank you. I'll leave that to be... I can leave these eye holes to be open, maybe. I can feel... Can I not feel the rest of this in? It should be together. Let's see. Yeah, I'll go to Twisted Time once I maybe finish this last little bit here. Well, here's the problem. I'm trying. Let's see. Give me select box. Because I could just select everything and then fill it. And then I can go in here and delete the face or not. It's always tricky. Delete face. But I want to keep my points. Why? I got this, which is also sort of the same point here. This is the only... is it... Oh, I think so. That's the point there. Huh. I can add my other blocks here, maybe. Hopefully you get the idea here. Would like to remove these. But like I just kind of cut it out. Knife won't work. Oop. Yeah, I'll have to figure this out, but let's see. So remove my D plane. So you can see I kind of got a little bit lighter there, and then it'll just be more work. That's cool, right? We got the spider web, and then we got the branch, and maybe a little bit of horse. A little bit of horse. Not much. Might have to add more geometry or something to make this work. I don't know. I'll keep working on it. I'll probably be working on it the whole day, trying to figure this out. So, cool. Yeah, this music's kind of Halloweenish. Almost. Sorry, this always gets little. This always gets the best of me, but you know, I wanted to see that through a little bit, almost the end of that. So, but yeah, again, we will see where I am by next week to finish this up. Not really finish it up, but just kind of keep working on it. Oh man. Yeah, so I will keep working on this, keep working on work, keep working on maybe the movie, keep working on so much stuff. There's it's always way too much stuff. But yeah. Let's see. So yeah, I will see if my surprise works. I will have to do some testing and setup for that. Kind of excited for it. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, so the schedule is 21st will be part 4 of this, of the animation, and then the 28th will be the surprise, and then hopefully by the 29th, you know, hooves cross. Don't have. I got rid of my hug. Just it's almost like a promise, I guess. I don't know. 29th, I will hopefully get this animation complete, and I will upload it to YouTube Shorts by then. And then within hopefully that same week or so, I will get the Patreon rewards for patrons. So they will get access to, hopefully I'll have original music, and then maybe a outside the view video, access to the original video itself, the exported animation, maybe storyboards. I don't know, the storyboards are gonna be weird and integrated inside of here, inside of Blender, so that's kind of weird as a video. And who else? Who knows? Me not. I'm gonna go. Yeah. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a good October. Yay. Yeah, it is. It's always so much. So, yeah. Thanks for hanging out. I will. Oh yeah, I'll work on the. Once I hopefully figure out a method to make the ponies, I will work on your designs, your ideas. Maybe next week I'll maybe ask again and see if there's any other ideas for any other more characters, anything else like that. Or yeah, we'll see where we are by then. So thank you guys so much, and yeah, have a good day. Yeah, bye bye. See you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.